Alright guys, I'm going to show you a video of people that have VHF that are having some issues milling Powerball. I just want to show you quickly. So we're going to go ahead and select screw retained bridge. This is the case that you can see has an issue. We're going to bring it in and we're going to click through. And what happens is the cam now, I'm on Dental Cam 8, the cam will try and read every screw access hole regardless of the construction info. And sometimes when it's conical, it's very hard for them to figure out what the center of it is, where it starts, where it ends, and especially when it's angled. So we have to double check before we actually nest everything where it needs to go to set it up. So you can see here it's starting to measure the drillings. Should be ready in about 10-20 seconds, and it's very important that you always choose a screw retained bridge so that it knows what to look for. You set the right height. You can see here it's about 22 millimeters straight on. This case actually has no angled Powerball screws. They're all straight, so it should be quite simple, but depending on where the screw access hole is designed and how tall it's designed, sometimes the cam will identify all of them, sometimes it won't. So you can see now it found that it has 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That may be an issue. We have to double check it because we only see 6, but it says it's finding 7. So it will find 1 from the occlusal and 1 from the cavity side, and you have to make sure that they're both set correctly. So if you're doing this, or if you're having your team do this, it's super important that you double check this before you send it out to be milled. So if you look closely, you can see here, let's just zoom out here. I'll go right in here. 1 second. You can see here, let me go back, give me 1 second. If you look closely in this area, certain area here, you can see that it's not all the way set over. So it's possible that it's not actually where it's supposed to be. So we have to double check that. So let's do that right now. So we go into the drillings section, which is right here. We're going to click that. And you can see that there's actually 12 of them, so that means there's 6 from the top, 6 from the bottom. But if you look closely, you can see that the one by tooth number 27 is not defined correctly. And then if you look here, it's defined correctly here, but we want to make sure that it's all perfect. So what we're going to do is, we're going to zoom in on this, and we're going to see that number 5 is the one that's selected, so we're going to delete that. And just for purposes, we're going to delete both, and just to show you how we're going to redefine each one. So to redefine each one, we go into this section where there's the circles. We're going to click here. We're going to zoom in on the wall, and you cannot zoom in on this area and click it because it won't work. It's very hard. It's conical, like I said. We're going to go and select this part of the wall. So we're going to go ahead and click. 1, 2, 3. It's going to set the center, and then we just make sure that the whole thing is selected correctly. I'm going to hit check. Alright, we're going to go to the other side. Right there. I'm going to zoom in on the wall. Click, click. 1, 2, 3. Nice and centered. Doesn't matter that it's perfectly, this is a little bit off, so we're going to redo it. We don't like that one, so we're going to delete it and redo it. 1, 2, 3. A little bit better. That's nice and centered. Make sure it covers the whole area. And then we hit enter, and now we have everything defined exactly the way it's supposed to be, and you can go ahead and nest it, put your center frame, do what you have to do. I hope this helps. The other thing is super important, last one, is when you go into settings, you pick the zirconia and you go into this section here. Depending on what library you choose, you have to set the offset correctly. 0.1 is usually perfect, but you can play with it with your machine to make sure the screws are nice and passive.